To be young, gifted, and black, we all know what it's like to be told that there is not a place for you to be featured, yet you are young, gifted, and black. We know what it's like to be told to say there's not a screen for you to be featured on, a stage for you to be featured on. We know what it's like to be the tail and not the head. We know what it's like to be beneath and not above. And that is what we went to work with every day, because we knew not that we would be around during award season or that it would make $1 billion, but we knew that we had something special that we wanted to give the world, that we could be full human beings in the roles that we were playing, that we could create a world that exemplified a world that we wanted to see.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies for Nurse New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka Cuckoo Khan, with my co-host.
Okay. Yeah, this is Eli, aka the Mexicant.
Are you a Mexican or a Mexicant?
I'm a Mexi-not. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not Mexican.
Gotta keep reminding people. Yeah, we're back with another episode. Yeah, we're just gonna jump into it. And Eli, I think we're live. We're good. Okay. For people that listen to us right now, we want to do some quick house cleaning before we jump to the podcast. Yes, we are gonna talk about Wakanda Forever. Full spoilers. We will talk into it. I will timestamp when we go into it. But before we get there, anybody listen to us right now, we're actually banned on Facebook right now. Believe it or not, it's not Eli's fault this time. So it's me, and it's a pretty bad ban, but not as bad as I thought it was gonna be Eli.
You can blame me though if you want.
Yeah, it's Eli's fault, even though
it's
I
always
fucked up.
My fault.
I almost put on there why I got banned, but I'm not gonna put on why I got banned because I want to get banned on these other platforms. But okay, so it's not as bad as I think it's gonna be. But here's the thing: we're banned for the next 3 weeks. I thought it was gonna be longer than that. So would you do a hard time? We'll be back up and running. Hold on, what do we got here?
Hey, Jakey Poo's in the house. Hey, what's up?
Metaphysics. Wait, where's Jakey Poo? Oh, Jakey Poo. Yeah, always getting banned. No, it's usually Eli. It's usually Eli the one getting banned.
No.
But we use, and the was crazy thing about it that we planned this just in case if I get banned, we prep time for all this shit like that. And Facebook like, nope, we prep time for your prep time. So I still can't find
a fail safe, yes.
And none of that shit worked. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like we planned for this and couldn't get it. So anyway,
Batman, we are not.
We are not Batman. BIPOC Batman, Bruce Wayne Batman, none of them. Because we thought we had outsmarted the system, but we did. But anyway, we're gonna just jump into it. First thing, before we get into Wakanda Forever, we do have to pay our respects because some major stuff happened this week. We got to say rest in peace to Kevin Conroy. Now, for anybody just, casually listen to this podcast or don't really know about what's going on, you may not know who Kevin Conroy is. But if you know, and you're in the, the area, you know who Kevin Conroy is. Kevin Conroy is a legend. Nothing less than a legend. I'm going to go farther than that. Eli, I'm going to call him the GOAT.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to call him the GOAT because for those who don't know who Kevin Conroy is.
Yes, I'll second that. I will back that.
Exactly. So like I said, so this is a big deal. So for those who don't know who Kevin Conroy is the voice actor of Batman from Batman the animated series.
And the video games.
Like all the Arkham series, I think except for Arkham Origin, but all the Arkham series, it was him. And he also did all the Injustice games. And pretty much Batman Beyond, Just League Unlimited. We're missing some stuff also, but like for a long stretch of time, it was just Kevin Conroy doing Batman's voice. Matter of fact, his voice is so ingrained in my head. Anytime I read a Batman comic, I hear his voice. I read it in his voice.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how strong it is. Matter of fact, we're still banned on Facebook, so I can't even go live doing my video game sessions. But on Twitch, I did have a little tribute for Kevin Conroy. Like I said, we decided to play Arkham City, and I did it as the animated series Skin. Because like I said, just see how it is. So I'm gonna stop.
I did too. I actually, I watched a bunch of the animated series.
Let me stop. Forget my ass whoop. Yeah.
Oh. No, I watched a bunch of the animated series just as in remembrance, as tribute to Kevin Conroy. Yes.
Yeah.
Funny thing, I watch, and looking at it now, the Scarface episode. Watching it now is like, this is that's a twisted fucking story. Scarface.
Yeah, because Scarface was kind of like a joke villain, but that show made it something else.
Yeah, I could see like Matt Reeves using that guy in the movie and making him just a total fucked up fucking twisted.
Because you can do some really crazy shit with Scarface.
Yeah,
dude did it was like 30. Yeah, he did. Yeah, and
yes.
I don't even go as far as saying Batman the animated series is the greatest Western cartoon of all time. As I said, Western. Yeah.
Most of my Batman, yes, pretty much most of my Batman knowledge comes from the animated series.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, like, I didn't even realize that a lot of those like single episodes, they were taken from Batman comics. Like I went back and read some like those Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams comics. They were like word for word, like just ripped from there. I was like, damn, so and so it gave you Batman lore. A lot of those villains on the cartoon, they had forgot about them. They didn't even think about him. Like Mr. Freeze, they had forgot about Mr. Freeze. The cartoon brought him back and made him a serious villain. Poison Ivy, Killer Croc. We can just go down the list. It just kept going on. Harley Quinn,
the Clayface episodes.
They had forgotten about Clayface. They completely, redid Clayface.
They turned Clayface into like a Frankenstein fucking body horror shit.
Right, which the comics never did. So it made you look at Batman in a completely different way. So me personally, in my opinion, that is like the most perfect representation of Batman you can get. Like if you want to know what Batman is, watch that cartoon. Yeah,
that's my favorite version of Batman. Just that's why what I love about Batman is it totally embodied in the animated series. That's what I love. Why I keep returning to Batman, because that Gotham as this sort of fantastical, otherworldly, urban, nightmarish realm that exists in its own reality. Hey, Fat T's in the house.
Fat T here. See, Fat T like me after school, 4:30, Fox Kids. We're watching this shit.
Yeah, and I was in college at the time. I was still watching that shit. I got off class, ran back to my dorm room, watched Batman, and then went to the cafeteria and ate. That's what I did.
But the thing about that cartoon is that, like, up until that point, Western cartoons were just 30-minute commercials. That's all it were. Transformers, like, regardless of what you think about Transformers, He-Man, G.I. Joe, even Ninja Turtles, they were just 30-minute cartoon commercials for you to go out and get the toy. Batman anime series wasn't that, even though, yes, the reason it got greenlit because of the movies, but it was that. It would actually like you had serious acting on it. So they were acting on there.
It expanded Batman's mythology. It made it more. It made a Batman mythology that that Batman had this huge source of storytelling that I was not aware of at the time. And I was an old school Batman. I was a little kid watching the 66 series. I grew up on Adam West. I had Batman Migos. I was reading comics and shit. And so
it got to the point. It got to the point that the comics started being influenced by the cartoon.
Yeah,
like that. That never happens. Yeah,
Harley Quinn started on the cartoon, and now
Harley Quinn, Lock Up. Yeah.
So,
Hell, even that failsafe dude that Batman's fighting now in the comic remind me of Hardak from the cartoon. The same thing, And plus, not only that, but his interpretation of Batman, I think, influenced other Batman. I'm not talking about just a live cartoon. I'm talking about live action also, because his Bruce Wayne and Batman were two different people. Like you're like, okay, there's no way people would think they're the same person. Matter of fact, I'm almost certain Christian Bale took his interpretation of Bruce Wayne from Kevin Conroy. He just did a live action version of that.
Yeah, because everyone talks about who's the best Batman. Is it Christian Bale? Is it Michael Keaton? Adam West? Now they throw in Ben Affleck, and and now you got what's his face, Twilight guy. I don't remember his name.
Right.
Great flick. I loved it, but goddamn, I can't remember that kid's name. But everyone talks, who's the best Batman? No, it's Kevin Conroy. It's always, for us,
It's
OGs,
Kevin Conroy. That is the Batman.
That Kevin Conroy is the GOAT. Yes, like as you said, he is the best Batman.
Best Batman. Metaphysics, what's up? Yeah, best Batman series ever. Yeah. That's why when you start naming like best Batman cartoons, you got to say the animated series. Like you got to take the animated series out of it and just do everybody else, because otherwise it wouldn't be fair. You wouldn't have a poll, but that's the thing. Okay, but here's the thing. So Kevin Conroy was only a voice actor. So technically he doesn't count, but actually that's not true because the Arrowverse.
Yes, he showed up on there.
Batwoman Lives Tomorrow.
Kevin
I can't
Smith,
remember.
He had like cameos in Kevin Smith movies and shit.
Right. He had a son named Robin, like shit like that.
Yeah, I can't remember one of his last
best Batman is Batnips. No.
Batmite?
He's talking about Val Kilmer and the other one, Clooney. They had the nipples on there. So yeah.
Oh, those guys.
Very, very pronounced. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a lot of gay subtext in those movies if you really watch them, but that's here nor there.
Joe Schumacher, what do you expect?
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. So rest in peace to Kevin Conroy.
Yes.
Yeah, like I said. And
good journey, kind sir.
Yeah. We had, matter of fact, we changed our profile pic to Kevin Conroy on the
I was shocked. I was shocked to hear, because he's always at the cons. I never met him. I never had the privilege of meeting him, but he was at a bunch of cons that I went to. I seen him in person. So he was huge with the fans. He was always out there meeting the fans. Mm-hmm. So when I saw his picture, I thought, oh, is he going to be at another con? But then I saw Kevin Conroy passed away. I'm like, what the fuck?
And honestly, a lot of actors from that animated series are passing away. Like Alfred passed away not too long ago. Somebody else passed away too.
Yeah. And the actors like Mark Hamill, Tara Strong, Clancy Brown, all the voice actors from the animated series, they've just been putting up tributes to him. He was the voice of Batman.
So you never have it again. There was one cool story I heard about Kevin Conroy. I had a picture, but I don't have a picture of it. During 9/11, he was actually in New York, like in the kitchen helping out, the responders. So like to build up morale and boost them up to help them out, he was doing the Batman voice while he was doing it, and they was just like, it was helping them get through the time also, especially just lighting the mood, because like it was 9/11. So Bruce Wayne is Batman Beyond. Yes, he did. That was him.
Yep.
So but now moving on past this, we probably won't spend as much time on this one, but we got to pay our respect for this also. Rest in peace to Gallagher. Now, I do understand that if you're at a certain age, you don't know who the fuck this is. I get it. I get it. But I just briefly want to talk about it because, like I said, he was a comedian in the 80s, and he was pretty much known for one thing: smashing watermelons. Eli, did he even tell jokes? I think I remember seeing like one HBO special.
I think he told like pretty dumb jokes and then smashed.
Yeah, like I remember, I like, this shit ain't funny. But when he started smashing watermelon, I like, that shit is funny, So people just like get to the watermelon smashing. Now, the reason I want to bring Gallagher up, because if you don't know who Gallagher is, the MCU referenced him once in Iron Man 2.
Okay.
When the big titty chick blew up and she was like, who wants the Gallagher? They would never do this shit at MCU nowadays. Robert Downey Jr. is 101. But that's one of them. So if you watch that movie and didn't get the reference, that's where the reference came from. So that's why he blew up the watermelon head and told the blonde, who wants the Gallagher? Which that sounds really sexual, but that's okay. But I know you had a
a bunch of buddies of mine, they formed a Metallica tribute band. Mm-hmm. And the singer impersonated Gallagher. And they called themselves Metallica. So they would play Metallica songs, and then the lead singer would say stupid jokes and then smash fruit. They actually practiced down the hall from where my band practiced. So I knew those guys. But they got kind of a big following up here in the Twin Cities for a few years, to the point when Gallagher did one of his live comedy shows, they got to open for him. And it was at the club that I worked at. And from what I understand, he was not impressed with the band.
Oh wow! It was the band sucked. He just liked him taking his act.
I made a combination of both. I don't think they liked a guy impersonating
Like, take your
him.
pick. Like, yes, okay.
And maybe he just wasn't a Metallica fan, but I don't know.
Let's see what guy. I guess he had beef with Mark Murray. Let's do an old podcast episode straight up like left halfway there. Oh, why do you have beef with Gallagher? Like,
I don't know, but I've heard that Gallagher's politics were questionable recent, so that's what I've heard. You know, I'm not going to slander the guy. He's not even cold yet, so whatever.
And like I said, and like I said, because the Weird Al movie just came out like last week, we gave it good praise. He was in it, but they didn't name him. He was just in the background.
Yeah.
But you like look, you're like, is that Gallagher? You know, then you hear this news. So it's just a weird combination, but yeah. So that being said, we can move on part. Now we're gonna get to what is on the poster. We're gonna talk about this.
You've all been waiting for.
Yeah. So now we're gonna talk about Black Panther: Wakanda Forever and what we think about it. I do think I have to give some disclaimers because everybody that is reviewing this movie right now, they have certain things. Now, for instance, if you go on Facebook, it's the same review that everybody's getting every single time. I cried the first 5 minutes in, 10 out of 10. We don't do that here. Sorry. We're going to actually review the movie, you know. Like, damn. So, and we're
I was crying the 5 first minutes, and I'm like, God damn, this is the 5 first minutes. We got 2.5 more hours to go.
Right. Pace yourself. Like, damn, I should have brought some napkins in for the crowd or something like that. Shit, you know. I'm trying to hear plot points. I can't hear shit because everybody crying. But like I said, the movie brought it out of you. You know,
like blowing their nose and shit.
Oh, real men don't cry. Now, see, Jake, we're not gonna tolerate that toxic masculinity in here. Shout out to Jake. He's a listener. Matter of fact, we watched Black Panther like a couple days ago. Me and Jake, just him. So yeah.
Did you guys cry?
Yeah, he was there. Recap. Yeah, okay. that was my next point. Okay, so we didn't do the 10 out of 10. I cried 5 minutes in, and we're not one of the recast T'Challa, you know, bots or whatever out there like that. Now, if you own that recast T'Challa thing and you don't watch the movie, you boycott a movie for that, cool. Okay. That's you. That is your hard-earned money. Do what you want with your hard-earned money. I can't tell you what to do with that. As far as what we do, we're not going to worry about the recast T'Challa and all the stuff like that. My stance on that, I don't give a shit either way. You know. But honestly, no, I take that back. I didn't want them to recast in this movie and just this movie. Now, going forward, that's a different story. But in this movie, the last thing I wanted for this movie, almost 2 years after Chadwick Boseman died, John Boyega just shows up in a Black Panther costume, Wakanda Forever, and we just go and pretend like nothing happened.
It could have been the greatest actor, Denzel, Idris Elba, no matter who, Morgan Freeman, the greatest actors. You still would have compared him to Chadwick Boseman.
Exactly.
You still would have shit on him and shit. Wow, he wasn't. Blah, blah, blah. And yeah, everyone would have bit. So,
and it just would have been bad taste. It just would have been bad taste. We just pretend like that. Because I get it. Yeah. These movies are escapism. And this is and this movie is basically taking from real life and putting it in there. And I know some people don't like that. I do think we got to get that out the way also. Is this movie, you know, a tribute or is it exploitation of Black trauma? You know, which is it? I mean, we can have that argument all day long. Some people think it's this, some people think it's that. I was wondering about it. After watching the movie, I do think it is a good tribute for it. And I do think for this movie, they made the right call.
Yeah, because I think the first Black Panther movie transcended being just a superhero comic book movie.
Right.
It spoke to the Black community. It became a phenomenon, and it became a representation of Afrofuturisms, and it inspired kids of what they can be, and it became a cultural phenomenon.
But that movie was escapism.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it still spoke to experiences that people of color face in modern times. So because of that whole cultural phenomenon, I think they had to address that in some way. That they had to, like, the community after his passing, the fan base, the community was in mourning, and this movie addresses the mourning. So I thought they did that very respectfully.
But some people didn't want them to address the mourning. Some people did want them to just recast, pretend like nothing happened.
I totally get that. I don't want to. I like I said, first 5 minutes, man, motherfuckers.
Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. Vic, shout out to Vic. Vic, I am pissed off at you, not you personally, but I'm pissed off at you because you didn't show up at the end of the movie. Spoiler. Yeah, we're gonna keep.
You weren't in that after credit sequence.
You weren't in the after credit. I blame you, Vic. I blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that being said,
T'Challa and I had a son. His name was Victor.
Right. That's what it should have been. So that's my thing right there. Now, like I said, everybody cried in the first 5 minutes. Everybody cried in the last 5 minutes, stuff like that, because this movie did evoke emotion. Would you have gotten that same emotion if John Boyega or Jamie Foxx or some other bullshit showed up like that? You wouldn't have got that same feeling. You wouldn't have had any emotion. Matter of fact, this movie actually would have been hollow if they went that route. That's my opinion of it. So I think, I said, no matter what you do, people are going to be pissed. Yeah. But I think they made the right move.
I
agree. I thought the real classic had a headline like that. So, but you, like I said, you're still gonna have the recast T'Challa people.
Yeah.
You know what? And keep at it.
Yeah, and I get wanting to go to movies for escapism, have fun, and not think about our shitty Monday lives and not think about how shitty the world is. I get that. You know, but sometimes art helps us cope with our real shitty lives.
Right.
And I felt this movie did that, you know.
Yeah, because whatever anybody says about this movie is not escapism. You are not going to this movie and escaping reality. No, this movie brings reality in here because, like I said, for the last 2 years, it's been shitty just for everybody. It's just sucked, you know. And this movie pretty much just reminds you how much these last 2 years sucked. Yeah. So when you go to this movie, it reminds you of it. But at the same time, I see the thing. I think people hold comic book movies and comic books and all this shit like that, or pop culture blockbuster movies to a different standard, because art always borrows from real life. Like artists, they take from real life and they put it into their art. So, like I said, if anybody else had a tragedy through their life, you know, they would write a song about it. They would paint a picture about it, you know, whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. But comic book movies aren't allowed to do that. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, the people making this stuff are artists.
It's supposed to be amusement park rides,
It's supposed to be theme park rides like that.
Fun.
But, you know, and to be honest with you, most of them are. You know, you want that? Go see Black Adam. Nobody else did. You know, but this movie here, yes, these are artists taking from art and put into it. So you got the director rewriting the movie to honor his friend, you know, and you got the actors honoring their friend also, because I'm gonna tell you what, like I said, I haven't got to my rating about it, but I will say this is the best acting of any Marvel movie ever. Yeah, I will say that. The reason I'm saying that is because it's hard to tell when they're acting and when they're not acting.
Yeah,
because it's real emotion, real pain coming through the screen. That's why everybody's bawling their eyes down the first 5 minutes, last 5 minutes, in between the movie like that, because the way they do it when they're talking and they're talking about T'Challa, you don't know what they're talking about T'Challa or they're talking about Chadwick Boseman. And I don't even think they know the difference whether they're talking about T'Challa or Chadwick Boseman. Now, some people say that's in bad taste, so they shouldn't do that. But I think it's a good thing to do it, because I think for everybody working on this movie, which was the same people who worked on the last movie, you can tell this movie for them was just a 2.5 hour therapy session, which I don't see anything wrong with that. Hell, we were going through it too. It's a therapy session for us too.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, now I understand, like you said, if you had, you know, a death in the family recently, or you had lost your family, this movie could be triggering for you. I get that.
It goes through the stages of grief. You got everybody's mourning it in their different ways and shit.
Yeah. Black and brown. Frankie, I seen you before, Frankie. What's up with you? It felt like a movie in LA. To Live and Die in LA.
Which is Cube and Cypress Hill all over again.
Right. Stop the beefing, which is a big thing also. Like I said, if the ethnic groups could just get together, we could destroy the white man. That's not me talking. That's what the movie's themes are.
I didn't say it.
Right. Let me stop, because black people getting canceled left and right. Let me stop, man. You're not going to get me too. Oh, shit. You're not going to Kanye me. Let me see. My fellow Mexicans getting some representation in Marvel time. I mean, let's break it down. Okay, so you got America Chavez. You know, like I said, you got Namor in this one. Technically Oscar Isaac, even though he's playing a Jewish guy, but
he's a Mexican guy playing a Arab guy playing a Jewish guy, or what? How does that work?
Let it count. We count it. Like he checks all the boxes. He checks all of them. Hell, he might be Black Panther next time in part 3. You don't know. So yeah. But that's the whole thing. Like I said, this movie was a therapy session for a lot of people. So I think this is the best way to do it. And that's because I think art, the purpose of art is to bring out emotion. So yeah, if you want to just be a 2.5 hour commercial just for the next Marvel movie, I'm sorry, this movie isn't that. And you may bash the movie for that. Well, that's fine. Everybody has an opinion. Like I said, this is just our opinion, my opinion, Eli's opinion. That's what we think about it. So now, out the way. Now that I said that, let me just go into what I thought about this movie. Okay. Maybe controversial, but I'm going to say it. Now, if Black Panther was Avengers, Wakanda Forever is Age of Ultron. That's just my opinion. Not as good as the first one. Still a good movie. Not as bad as people bashing it out to be. But I do think they're trying to do too much in this movie. There's a lot of movie in this movie. First off, you got about 2 or 3 characters that are only here just to set up another movie or a Disney Plus show. That's the only reason they're here. You know, you got to build a whole new world, a whole new character, a whole new mythology in this. There are so many characters juggling around that the first half of the movie, it almost felt like episodic. Like, okay, we're dealing with this person right here. Then we're going to move to this person right here. Then we're going to move to this person right here. Now, but when the movie started to settle down for me and started to get focused, like I said, at the beginning of the movie, I felt like it was unfocused. When the movie started focusing on Shuri, the movie started to get focused and everybody else realized that they're her, side characters to her and she's the main character. The movie started to settle down and get focused. I'm like, okay, now I'm into it. Plus, her character arc is the best character arc in the movie. And I almost felt like they should have focused on her more. If it's going to be her movie, make it her movie. Because she had the most interesting arc. Let's take a look at Shuri for a second. Like I said, part 1, she was, the cute, cuddly sidekick. That's what she was. Joking around, comic relief. That's fine like that. Now, in the next movie, she's 2 steps from being Killmonger. So this is that whole break the cutie arc where you take the innocent, person and you just put him through the ring and put him through the gauntlet. That's what they did with that one. I think her whole arc and bringing her back, that was the most interesting part for me. And I felt like they didn't make her the main character, so it's jumping around until it got to her. So that's me. We need more. They should have had Josh. No more Josh Whedon. He is out of here. He is canceled. So yeah. What else I gotta say about this movie? But like I said, as far as the acting, everybody was acting their black asses off, especially Angela Bassett. She killed in this movie. Give her an Oscar now. But don't give her an Oscar for this movie. Give her an Oscar for all the times you fucked her over when you didn't give her an Oscar. What's love got to do with it? Give her one for that. Just like you did Denzel with Training Day when he should have got one for Malcolm X like 10 years earlier. Give her one for that. And that scene right there when she dressed down Okoye, man, I was like, even though it was in the trailer, that scene still gave me shivers. I was like, oh shit, okay. So yeah, I was like, get Angela Bassett. Let's talk about my boy. Now, and here's my thing about this movie. Oh, I'm gonna click this. They're coming in hot today. She killed her. Death scene got me. Death scene there got me. It was spoiled for me a couple months ago before it even happened. So pissed off that happened. But yeah, that death scene did get me. Did she get fridged? Maybe, but let's need a healer there.
I think it's fridged. It's only fridged if it was a dude going to get revenge.
You are right. You're right. I stand corrected because you're right. It's just because, yeah. All right. So, like I said, moving on past that, I got to talk about what. And I think this, because like I said, I know some people that just flat out don't like this movie. And I think this movie makes or break you based on Namor or Namor. Got to say the whole name. El Nino Sin Namor. I love that little change they made in there. Like your whole thing is going to be based on Namor. Now, some people didn't like him. Some people loved him, and I think your enjoyment of the movie is going to be based on pretty much how you feel about him.
Let's talk about Namor.
Okay, let's talk about Namor.
No one gives a shit about Namor ever.
I gave a shit about Namor. Come on, man.
No, I'm talking about before this. No one gives a fuck about Namor. Namor's an asshole.
He is an asshole. Yeah, always trying to fuck some storm.
Namor's like Aquaman. He's never been cool. How many times have Marvel like, hey, they're trying to shove Namor down our throats? So like, he's a mutant. Here, he's on the X-Men now. He's going to be on the X-Men team now. Hey, he's our first ever character ever. He's this guy. They're always trying to shove him up our asses, and we're like, Namor. He pops up in comic books, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's Namor. What does this fucking bitch ass want now? Like,
I was a fan of Namor. I always liked Namor. I never liked Aquaman, but I like Namor just because he was an asshole. That's why
he was Spock in booty shorts. That's what
pretty much.
Like, I'm old. I remember those old Marvel cartoons, you know, with Captain America,
the 60 ones, and
Mighty Shield, and Iron Man that sets ablaze, you know, all those theme songs. Yeah, and they had the Submariner cartoon, you know, the Prince Namor of Atlantis is the Prince of the Sea, whatever. Every time his cartoons would come on, I was like, oh man. And I was like 5 years old.
Right, you gotta sit through this shit. So yeah, dude trying to get laid with BP and Ocean say I shipped him. Yeah, I think that's why he didn't kill her. But yeah,
but yeah, you know, so I do like what they did. They made Namor cool.
Yeah. Now, like I said, yes, this is Namor. This is Namor for the comics. Like I said, he had the booty shorts, the green speedos. You know,
he ain't like Mexican.
Spock. He ain't Mexican. He in the comics, he's racially ambiguous, and not that they race swap.
Yeah, but that's what's cool. So that's what's cool about what Marvel did with Namor, like versus Aquaman. You know, in DC, like they shoved Jason Momoa, and that's another thing. I'm getting a little tired of the underwater characters that no one gives a shit about. They just give it to the native actor because it's like, it's the reservation. No one wants it. Here, you can have this shitty role that no one cares about, playing a shitty character, that no one likes, and so they give it to the native.
Please make Aquaman cool.
Yeah, so they give, Aquaman to Jason Momoa, and they kind of sort of tried to like show Momoa's, Polynesian heritage. He's doing the haka in some scenes, but let's get serious. There was all white folks down in Atlanta.
Right.
Even his
brother,
white, his brother's white,
blonde hair, blue eyes,
white. William Dafoe's white, and Atlanta is a Eurocentric Greek mythology. Right. So yeah, it just makes sense. So for them to take, say no, we're not going to do Atlantis. We're going to what's the I'm not Mexican. I'm sorry, I don't know the history.
Just call it what I called it, not Atlantis.
Yeah, not Atlantis. The Mayan city that got washed away by the rain god or whatever. I'm not familiar. Sorry.
Fat T, let us know what it was.
Yeah, or who's that? Jake? Is Jake Mexican? Who's Mexican? Jake. Tell us. Let us know. Get on the call. We'll jump in.
Fat T. All he wants to do is fuck Sue Storm. That's all he wants to do. He don't give a shit about nothing else.
So I like that they did that they just took, they separated themselves from the DC, and they gave Namor, a similar sort of character arc that sort of juxtaposes Wakanda, as Wakanda and I want to say Kowloon, but it's not.
Right. I mean, like I said, Marvel has so many secret societies and stuff like that. There's just another
that they're similar, that they're similar. They were, they actually got colonized versus Wakanda has never been sort of isolated themselves, but ever since they were the Spanish did conquer their land, they went into hiding. So they're similar, and I like that. I really like the fact that it wasn't because the vibranium or the magic flower that they were smart, because that would have pissed me off.
Right?
like just because the Mayans were smart, it wasn't because some alien shit.
Right. Eternals came down and helped them and shit.
Yeah, no, they were already smart. They already knew the world wasn't flat, when the Spaniards show up. So I was that was one of my concerns going in. Oh, Namor and his country are all powerful because some alien technology, and that's why
and it enhanced their minds and stuff.
Yes, they were able to build the pyramids, and they were all smart after that because brown people couldn't. Yeah, because brown people couldn't be smarter than Europeans.
Right. So it's got to be magic or some shit.
Yeah, which is another offshoot of Atlantis. Atlantis, they try to say Atlantis is real, and that Atlantis sort of influenced half of the world, and that's why half of the world is civilized, is because of Atlantis. It's sort of a white supremacy influence on history, So I like that that Marvel separated themselves from that. It's like, nope, this ain't Atlantis. these are Mayans, Mesoamerican people, pre-colonization, and look what they were able to do, by themselves, So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, so let's see what Fat T got here. Oh yeah, the wings got. I know a lot of people making fun of the wings. Why he got the flag? Here's the thing: if he didn't have the wings, people like me would have flipped the fuck out. We would have rioted in the streets. No wings. Flipped over tables and shit like that. So you had to give them the wings. They had to be there. It's non-negotiable. Plus, Jake, Namor is the first flying superhero ever. Even before Superman, even before Captain Marvel, right. Shazam,
he
all them.
Superman, doesn't he?
He doesn't. Superman predates him, but Superman couldn't fly. When Namor came out, he could fly.
He could just jump,
leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Single bound, yes.
Yeah. And so, I was feeling Cowboys versus Indian vibe, doing some of the scenes.
Who are the fucking Cowboys?
Right. Everett Ross, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Everett. Oh. Here's another thing I noticed. This is just me being a film geek, noticing cinema, seeing the cinematic art in it, And I know you said you were talking about how all these characters were just in there to set up other shit. And that's just what Marvel does. I mean, that's why I criticize Marvel, because most of their movies is just shoehorning shit in there. They're set up their other shit. They're commercials. They're commercialing shit inside, into storylines. But you have all these different. You had Haiti. You had the French attacking that Wakandan outreach program. Then you had the Spanish that were attacking Namor's people. Then you had Everett Ross's wife. What's her name? I forget her name.
Val, Contessa, some shit.
Whatever. Yeah, she's like the CIA. Those are the Americans. So you have the French, the Spanish, and Americans. Those are the three nations that basically colonized North and South America. French, came, or Spanish came first. That's why half the fucking countries, they have Spanish names.
Which actually that bothered me also, that the Atlanteans, whatever you want to call them, were speaking Spanish. But if they weren't conquered, why are they speaking a European language?
Yeah, and he called it an evil language, which I thought was funny.
Okay. But like I said, that's nitpicking we don't do here. I just pointed it out, but I'm not gonna 0 out of 10 for this. Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. But you had Spanish, they came. You had the French, they came. I mean, you're in the South, all the Louisiana and Haitian speaking French and Creole.
Creole.
So those are like the nations that came over to who crossed the pond. And then you had America, which is basically traders from England that sold out their country that became America. So you have all these three different nations that sort of colonized America. And so I liked how they worked those into the plot. So it's a whole theme of colonization and resistance against colonization. You had Namor's people being fucked with by the Spanish. You had the French coming over, and doing shit with Haiti. But now Haiti was all independent because Haiti was independent before those motherfuckers came here.
They fought for their independence, right?
Yeah. And then you had even like T'Challa's name is a reference to like a freedom fighter.
A freedom fighter that was in Haiti.
His son.
Toussaint,
Yeah, and then America, you have America now trying to go after Wakanda's vibranium.
And so just looking for any excuse.
Yeah.
Which is another thing I'm knocking the movie for, because I felt like they should have played up tension between America and Wakanda a little bit more. Matter of fact, you probably should have made America the villain.
That's what I'm thinking. America was the villain.
But it didn't hit home like it should have. Like they said it, but they really didn't say it.
I can see that, but in the end, yes, you had Wakanda and Namor warring against each other, and then in the end, they're saying, no, we got to unite because these motherfuckers are coming for our shit.
Right, they're coming for maybe both of us, because now, Val, since she's been listening in to Ross's conversation, she knows somebody else is out there.
Yeah, but she says, I pray for the day, or I welcome the day that we have, because they want vibranium, because what are they going to do?
They just need an excuse. They just need an excuse to go there.
They want weapons. They want to exploit the resources because that's what they do.
And that's what Namor told Shuri. She was like, don't you think that if the Americans could, they would come in and pillage your country right now if they could?
Yeah. And that's just what
America.
that's what they've done. That's what they did to Namor's people. That's what they've done for 500 years, and they still do it. They're still doing it all over the world.
I beg to differ, Jacob. Go watch the Suicide Squad. America was the villain in that. Yeah. So I think they should have went there, but I think they kind of, tipped around it because I think they want to be too controversial.
And that's Disney. It's going to be Disney. Yeah. Yes, they're going to Disneyfy it. So, but I think in the end that's they come to realize like let's stop fighting. So yeah, are we going to review the movie? We keep going.
I mean, we kind of are. I mean, like I said, we're critiquing.
Yeah, we're talking about the themes and the ideas. And
I mean, because it's the movie. It's easy to just thumbs up, thumbs down. I mean, we got to get a little deeper than that.
Yeah.
I will say this also. Like I said, I went too far already. I do think this is, if you ask me, my favorite MCU movie of 2022. This is it. However,
yes.
But that's not a very high bar.
I was talking about this and like Shang-Chi and like Spider-Man are like the standouts for this phase 4.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about 2022. We can go there.
Oh, yeah.
As far as I was saying, 2022, this is easily.
Yeah. Thor, Doctor Strange is all the TV shows,
Right.
But this, I'm like, damn, I did enjoy it. Probably more than you did. It sounds like I liked it more than you did.
You probably did. Honestly, you probably did like it more than me. Because like I said, I was sitting there watching. I was like, I needed to come together. I like the pieces are there. It's not coming together like I wanted to. Because like I said, I do feel like the first Black Panther movie was lightning in a bottle. I feel like it was, but it knew what it wanted to be. It got in, got out, told the story it wanted to be. That's it. This is telling so many stories and it stretched itself too thin. I think it it's hurting itself a little bit. But like I said, I gotta give Ryan Coogler credit for even making the movie as good as it is. Because like I said, you lost your star. Your other star that you have is anti-vax in the middle of a pandemic, so you can't shoot movie scenes with her. We're in a pandemic, so he has to shoot all that through this. I'm like, just even making a movie this good through all that.
The main character don't even show up till the last half hour.
Exactly. So it's like because you had to shoot around her, they had to like cut her scenes. Michael B. Jordan. Gotta talk about Michael B. Jordan. Okay, so like I said, even though there was a bunch of cameos just shoehorned in here for no reason, I do feel like Michael B. Jordan was not one of them. His cameo was very important and probably my favorite scene of this entire movie. Because like I said, she went to the astral plane, or I'm thinking about X-Men. What is it? Ancestral plane? Yeah, ancestral plane. And
the spirit world.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So she goes there and she thinks, and the thing is, it all ties back to Shuri because this thing, like I said, this is her character is evolved from the last movie. And at the very first thing she does in this movie is pray to Baz. She prays to Baz to save her brother. Her brother dies. So from that point on, that's why she don't want anything to do with the Black Panther, Bass, anything. She basically becomes an atheist in this movie.
Well, and
that's why
you have, and she's a scientist. She immerses herself into science, into her projects, into all her experiments, and that's her grieving process. That's her arc. She rejects the culture, the heritage, the traditions, the spiritual side of her culture. Because it's like, as a scientist, they need proof. You know what I mean? They need that.
That's
evidence.
what she was trying to tell to her mother. When they were sitting she was like when I finally came to terms of it, I saw the child again. And she's like, no, you didn't. You didn't see the child.
Yeah.
Your mind made you think you were seeing the child.
So there's this like religion versus science like theme going on,
Right. Or just faith. I think just faith.
Because faith and science, faith versus science. Yeah, because fact and truth are two different things. Fact. And that's what scientists base themselves on. You have to be able to prove it for it to be true. Water's wet, all that shit,
Right.
Water freezes at 32 degrees, blah, 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 blah. Those are facts. But everybody wanting to be happy is a universal truth that you have to just believe it. And that's where faith and religion comes. Yes. Or love. Yeah. Everybody wants love is not, you can't prove love. But it exists, because when you feel it.
You just feel it, right?
Yeah, you can't prove the love exists. It's just there. You know what it. So that's the crux between Shuri's character. She's a scientist trying to prove that everything's going to be okay, but she didn't believe it. In the end, she had to believe it.
Right. And that's when she went to that ancestral plane. That's why she didn't see any of her family, because she didn't think she was going to see him anyway.
Yeah.
So
I go to the spirit world. I'm going to see all my relatives, and that's because that's what happens. And then when she goes there and sees Killmonger, basically reminding her, you're still pissed off.
Right.
You're still angry.
Because the reason she's doing it, she's not doing it, for the good of the people or even to do it to see her family. She's just being Black Panther for revenge. That's it.
Yeah.
So her mind manifested Killmonger.
She wanted
so even though
power.
Killmonger is,
it was all for power. Yeah.
It was all for power. So even though Killmonger is trying to convince her, technically she's already convinced herself.
Yeah.
I'm already it's like Killmonger was Palpatine. If Palpatine had washboard abs, that's what he was. Give in to your hate.
But I love that. Like in the end, she ends up sparing Namor. Because she could have he killed her mom.
Right.
And she could have totally took her revenge out and would have been justified in doing so.
But
that moment, but when she starts thinking about how similar their worlds were, that they had these shared experiences, only Namor, they actually experienced colonization, where Shuri and Wakanda were isolated from it. So she understood this guy has suffered for 500 years, and he's just trying to protect his people the same way we are. I'm trying to protect my people, and that's where she
realized what will happen to their nation if anything happens to him. Right?
Yeah, then she had the empathy, and that's where you see her finally come into her own, and
she became T'Challa.
Yeah,
because that's what T'Challa did. Yeah, because he didn't kill Zemo.
Yeah, he didn't kill Zemo. Yeah, he didn't kill Killmonger, or did he kill Killmonger?
He did kill Killmonger. Yeah,
okay.
But not out of cold blood. I mean,
he offered him he offered him mercy. But I just love that. I love how she found empathy in the end.
But I like the fact that she was going down that path, because I think at the time she did see T'Challa's mask and she saw Killmonger's mask, and she went for Killmonger's mask because that's what she was raised. And I was like, and she got to the point that because the thing was her grief. She wasn't grieving. She was bottling up her. She was like, I'm not going to look back. I'm not going to worry about the Black Panther, because if I look back, then it becomes real. My brother's gone. My mother's gone. It's going to look real. So I think I look forward, bottle up my emotions. And the movie is trying to make a point that if you bottle up emotions and you don't face trauma, you will hurt not only yourself, but people around you. Because her act, if she went down this path, she would have destroyed Wakanda and Atlantis, or not Atlantis, or whatever, and that's the thing I like that the movie, and I wish the movie would have focused on that more, because it was a through line through the whole movie. Because here's the thing about the very beginning of the movie, when her queen mother was saying, when I finally came to terms, with T'Challa's gone, I saw T'Challa again, and she was just like, no, you didn't see this. She was like, well, I'm gonna tell you, because I actually did see him. I'm gonna tell you what happened, but she got cut off because Namor showed up. But what happened at the very end in the mid-credits, the after-credits scene, she finally came to terms that T'Challa's gone. She burned her funeral rags. And what happened? T'Challa showed back up again, but she wasn't ready to see him.
Yeah.
She had her terms with it. So it's just, it all came back full circle. Basically, she found her faith again. She realized, so she had a whole complete arc in that. I like that arc. Her arc started at the very beginning of part 1, and it continued from here. So yeah, like I said, I like how they did with that. I like that she was different from T'Challa, because she actually thought her way out of that. She beat Namor with prep time.
Yeah.
Like the MCU version of T'Challa, the comics version of T'Challa would have did that. MCU version of T'Challa wouldn't have did it. He would have had his pride. I'm gonna take this guy. I'm gonna find a way to beat him. But she's like, no, I'm gonna science this shit out. Figure this shit out. Find out his weakness. She basically did a Batman v Superman. It basically played a. She found his kryptonite. Put him down, put the spear to his head. He said Martha. She was like, why'd you say that name? Boom. That's the end of the movie. So so it's a better BVS than BBS. So yeah. What's gonna say about the movie? Oh, let's talk about Ironheart. Let's talk about, because Jake did bring up Ironheart in here. Here's the thing. Ironheart, she was shoehorned in this movie. She didn't fit. I realized because of corporate mandate, she got to set up a Disney Plus show. That being said, Eli, she did serve a purpose in this movie. Briefly. Not Ironheart, but Riri did. Ironheart, that costume fucking sucked. I'm sorry. She's like a fucking Beetleborg or some shit, or Trent. Oh, wait. He'll be back. Don't worry about it. He'll be back. I'm gonna show you what I got. So, and I think Eli been gone for a minute, but anyway, I'm gonna show you what Riri looks like. So Riri, when they show it, yeah. So actually, that suit, I actually like that suit right there. It was pretty cool. But it was when she turned into the Beetleborg version of it. I was like, this shit ain't working for me. But yeah, just regular ass Riri, she worked. But the point is, she worked in this movie because she filled in the role for Shuri, where Shuri used to be, the happy-go-lucky sidekick to T'Challa. Riri became her sidekick and her surrogate sister. So it all worked. I kind of like that. And so it's pretty cool with that. I'm trying to see who else we got talking about there. Or did I cut off? I think I'm still here. Yeah. We talked about Angela Bassett. We talked about Riri. We talked about the other people on there. Talk about the Atlanteans on there real quick. Because the Atlanteans did where are we? Okay. Now I do want to say one thing about the Atlanteans. I know everybody else. I know we got a bunch of Latinos. I'm not gonna say Latinx. I know the difference. Latinos and Hispanics doing the sign. I do want to let you know something. If you're gonna do the sign, we're gonna think one thing every time. We're gonna think this. We're gonna think Dragon Ball Z or the Kamehameha would think that. Now, since Eli gone, I'm gonna go ahead and go into detail about that. Now, the thing is, they call this move the Kamehameha. Now, the reason they call it the Kamehameha is because of King Kamehameha back in Hawaii. So technically, it's like the Japanese were kind of co-opting, Mesoamerican culture. You could say that. So it's there. More details about the movie we can go on. I think that's all I got. So, like I said, overall, I don't know what Eli's score is. I'm gonna just give my score on it. I think the movie, I'm gonna just give it a 4 out of 5. It's 4 out of 5. It is a good movie and a great movie. Best MCU movie of 2022. Not the best Phase 4 movie. I still think I put both Spider-Man No Way Home and Shang-Chi over this. Hold up, I bet you it's Eli. Fat T. That scene where Namor didn't save that girl. What scene where Namor didn't? I'm trying to think what. Oh, yeah. That's the thing, Fat T. I'm glad you're talking. So, that's the thing. So we're mad at Namor for going to Wakanda and starting shit, but Wakanda struck first. So it's like, how do you are you gonna keep the war going? Are we just gonna go from there? So, and there might have been somebody related to Namor. We don't know that. That's why he was so pissed. And plus, he only came for the queen. Everybody, he could have wiped out everybody, but he just came for the queen. What do we got? She got shot. Yeah, because Nakia came down and shot 2 of them. Yeah. And she was just doing the job that that Namor set out for her to do. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. And so, also, I'm glad I got this footage right here. Because like I said, we got Namor in here. Now I want to talk about this scene right here. Because the scene where Namor went and assaulted Wakanda, and yes, that is right out of the comics. He actually went harder in the comics because he actually destroyed Wakanda in the comics. They left, had to go to Kunlun or something like that. This is from AVX. This is from AVX right here. So yeah, what do we got? They realized it wasn't a god and Shuri could save her. Yeah. You made God bleed. Yeah, that's the thing. So, and that's the thing. That's what we started knowing that Shuri isn't the same as T'Challa, because T'Challa would have saved that girl because they were in that situation. But she wouldn't do that, but Shuri didn't do that. So she's already going down the path of Killmonger. She basically like a fork in the road, and the movie is trying to decide on where she wants to go with that. And she basically decided to choose the good side instead of going to the dark side. What else we got here? I'm trying to see. We got that. We got, this scene right here. So I put this scene up right here because we saw how strong Namor was in this movie. And Ryan Coogler, before the movie came out, said that Namor is as strong as the Hulk. And people got pissed off of him. But he wasn't the first person to say that. Stan Lee was the first person to say that. Because, yes, if Namor gets close to water, he can straighten. He knocked the Hulk out, put Hulk to sleep. Ben Grimm from The Thing did the same thing to him, put his ass to sleep too. Yeah, you put Namor in the water, it's hard to fuck with him. That's just him. What do we got here? New Warriors. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about Namor, whatever her name was. Yeah, at the very top. So I don't have the scene with her, but she was part of the New Warriors. So that's like a Easter egg, one of his foot soldiers that was in there. Atuma, one of his bad guys in there. So all these people were in the comics, I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Now I want to talk about the main influence of what I thought the comic came from, but I don't think I got the footage right here. Anyway, yeah, this comic right here. So we're gonna talk about Doom War for a second, because a lot of this plot came from this comic, Doom War. Doom actually tried to assassinate T'Challa in the comic, but he messed him up so bad that he didn't kill him, but he like paralyzed him. Matter of fact, I think he did kill him, and Storm had to like go to the afterlife to go bring him back, some shit like that. So he did that. So since T'Challa was out of the picture, Shuri had to rescue him. And like Shuri had to take over and become the Black Panther. She became the Black Panther. Dr. Doom did some bullshit, blamed it on Namor because he wanted Atlantis and Wakanda to fight each other, so he can weaken both countries and take the vibranium. So, what we got? He ain't got a thing in it. He'll be back. Don't worry. He just popped in. We're gonna get. So that's what's going on with that right there. So Doom basically tried to get up. What we got? Yeah. Wait for the load up. And it probably messed up. That's all. But anyway. So Doom put Wakanda and Atlantis against each other and tried to make them fight each other. Eventually, they did find out Doom had some shit going on like that because he had like spies on the inside of Wakanda. He had orchestrated the whole thing. Now the leaks I heard. Oh, there you go.
Is it just me? Am I the only one here? I don't know where.
No, can you see me? Hello, can you see me? I don't know. I'm still recording, but yeah, he probably gonna clock out again. But anyway, we're gonna go from there. So yeah, Doom has spies on the inside of Wakanda doing this business, stuff like that. Basically having Namor and Shuri going with it, and I'm pretty sure, I almost think that they planned it where Dr. Doom was going to be like a second scene at the end of the after credit scene, but they didn't do that. Now the reason that you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here now. You're there.
Okay,
you're there now.
Yeah, I've been here the whole time. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've just been talking. Yeah, it's just like I've just been having a good conversation. But yeah, I'm on Doom War now.
Okay.
Unless you want to ask, yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, this whole movie was leaked for me months ago. This whole plot. Matter of fact, the movie was leaked for me so hard that I got a leak saying that Lake Bell was in it and she's gonna get killed off by Namor in the first act. I'm like, Lake Bell? Why the fuck she in this movie? I'm like, they made that up. And then the second trailer, Lake Bell was in it. I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
Who posted that shit? Gomer?
Nah, I wish he would. It was somebody. It was somebody else that posted that shit, but they posted everything. Eli broke you too.
No, he must have missed me. I'm here, Jakey Poo.
He's back. He stuck around for you. So yeah. So that was the thing. So yeah. So everything was spoiled for me. Killmonger, Shuri, synthesizing the plant, everything spoke for him. But the thing that I got said that Dr. Doom and the whole T'Challa was gonna have a son at the end. All that. But the thing I got said that second credit scene was going to be Dr. Doom was going to show up saying, hey, it's me the whole time. I was trying to get them to fight. This plan, or like the plan did work kind of for phase, whatever. He froze again. That's okay. But there you go. You kind of.
My internet's being shitty. I don't know.
You got bad weather out there? Or because I know sometimes bad weather can kind of screw us up. But yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah. But I heard that Dr. Doom was going to be an after credit scene in this. But when I watched the movie, it wasn't there. So, but I wasn't pissed. Because honestly, I feel like if they just shoehorn another commercial in this movie, after you this great ending and this somber ending, I got everybody crying like that. So the whole theater's crying. T'Challa's second, he got a son. And then Dr. Doom shows up. That would have been just bad taste. Just don't go there. So I'm glad Marvel saved that, even though technically this is the end of phase 4. I'm glad they didn't go that route. What's next Marvel film? Ant-Man something. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's it. I don't even think I think that's the next Marvel project. I don't even think they have like another show before then. So I think that's it. So Eli, I don't think we're gonna do comics this week. I think because we went longer than I thought we were gonna go.
That's fine.
Yeah. But what it does, yeah. So but it'll still be more than Black Adam. But anything you want to add, just like some quick thoughts or
no, I thought it was cool. Like I said, it's my favorite one, out of the phase 4, it's one of the better Marvel movies. And yeah, if we're talking about 2022, yeah, this was the best Marvel movie of 2022.
Right. This and Love and Thunder, like, yeah.
You know,
but I do want to let you know something. Okay, so I looked at the box office numbers. So it is actually not the best opening weekend of 2022. Guess what is?
I don't know. Wasn't Love and Thunder? Or
no.
was it what Disney movie came out? Was there a Disney movie? I don't know.
Plenty of Disney movie. I'll tell you. So this is actually the second highest domestic box office weekend of 2022. The highest box office weekend 2022 is Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. So there's a possibility that this movie not even make as much as Doctor Strange this year. And I'm like, wow, okay. Like I said, the first movie made all that money, 1.3 billion or stuff like that. I doubt this movie makes $1 billion. Not because it's a bad movie, just because of the climate we're in. And also, I don't think this movie holds up to repeat viewings, which is another reason why I kind of knocked my score down. Like I said, the first Black Panther movie I saw like 5 times in the theater, some shit like that. I don't think I can sit through this movie again just because it's so emotionally draining. I don't think I can do that again. I don't think I can subject myself through that. So I may see it again, but as far as like 5-6 times in the theaters, I'm not doing it. So
yeah. And I think I agree. Like I went, like in the first 5 minutes, I'm getting all misty eyed, and I'm like, oh shit, is this what it's going to be? But it really wasn't. They didn't milk it as much as I thought they were going to. I thought it moved pretty brisk. You know, it was pretty fast paced. You know, yes, there is a somber tone to the movie. They do address mourning in this movie and the stages of grief in this movie. That is the layer that
or even the fact that you know, T'Challa's actions at the end of the first movie. You know, this movie has consequences for him because you know Namor is blaming Wakanda for opening up their borders and telling them about vibranium. Yeah, you know, which is what T'Challa's decision.
Yeah,
you know.
But given that, even though you know grief was the foundation of this movie, it still moved in a brisk pace. It introduced, you know, Namor. I thought what they did with Namor was cool. I was a little worried about it at first. Like I said, I didn't, you know, you know, I had my reservations about it, especially when you bring in those real life culture into comics, you know, because what they were calling T'Challa, that is a Mayan god or whatever. And I don't know about Mayans, but I know in Aztec culture who have a similar winged serpent god, you're not supposed to say that name out loud, only in certain like ceremonies. So when he's like just repeating his name and stuff, I'm like, are they supposed to do that? I don't know.
It's like making Jesus an Avenger, you know, some shit like that.
Yeah, or like Thor. They like what they did with Thor. They turned the Viking Jesus into a bumbling idiot, you know. You know, so it's like there's that fine line of appropriation and preservation. You know, I could see that being problematic. Them taking those real life Mayan heritage and making it into a comic book movie for entertainment, for escapism, or whatever. I can see that being problematic for the culture, but also at the same time, you're preserving culture. You know, the kids, Mayan kids or Mexican kids are seeing, you know, themselves being represented, and you know,
and for the most part, it's getting good response.
Yeah.
You know?
So there's that fine line, you know, but I felt it was pretty cool, you know, what they did with them. That they took, you know, they ditched the Atlantis idea, made it all about the Mayan culture, and made the Mayan culture, you know, stand out as what they were, because they were pre-colonization. The Mayans, the Aztecs, they were kingdoms, you know, before the Spanish showed up. You know, they were Wakanda. They were like real life Wakanda before, you know, the Spaniards showed up. You know, so I like that they didn't feed into the whole, you know, Euro white, you know, whitewashing of history, like most of the, like which is what Atlantis, the myth of Atlantis is sort of based in. So I did like that. And I like the message. Yes, you know, you could say, you know, black people versus brown people and all that stuff. But in the end, we need to unite, you know, because at the same time, we have similar experiences, and, you know, and we shouldn't be fighting each other.
Right. And that's why it's kind of hard for me to even call Namor a villain of the movie, because he really wasn't a villain. He was an antagonist.
Yeah.
Because you completely understood what he was trying to do. All he wanted to do to protect his people. That's all he wanted.
That's all.
Now, if you get in the way of that, that's on you. That's your ass. You know.
Yeah. I mean, even Everett Ross even said, "Enemy of my enemy" or whatever. Or no, I'm thinking of something else. Sorry. I watched another movie with two racially people had the same enemy.
Right.
But that's the same principle. You know what I mean? They had their nations were basically similar, and they had colonizers coming for the resources, which is that's just what they've been doing, and
right.
And they decided to like put down their grievances, and no, we need to help each other, we need to protect each other.
Even though we have beef between each other, we got to put that aside. It's big. It's bigger than both of us.
We're all in the same gang.
Crips and Bloods,
Yep, let's live black and brown unite and form a podcast, the BIPOC Bullies.
See, this is what they want us to do. Like they want us to fight, Oh man. Yeah, so all right. So you guys slapped. I slapped. Okay, I slapped the squirrel. Now I'm gonna tell you my score. I don't know if you listened to it.
I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would because I've been getting marveled out. Shit, I'm getting Star Wars out after they fucked up Boba Fett. I'm like,
honestly, I thought you weren't even going to watch this. I thought it was going to be me talking the whole time.
I've been broke. Yeah, I almost didn't, but I found a way. I had my ways, and
Sail the seven seas, matey.
And I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought.
We got to be.
But I give it a 4 out of 5. I get a 4 out of 5.
Oh, so you liked it as much as I did, then?
Yeah.
Look, I thought you were gonna like it more than me because I gave it a 4 out of 5. I like it.
No, like I said, this, Shang-Chi, and Spider-Man are like
those are my top 3. A lot of people don't put Shang-Chi in there. I thought Shang-Chi was awesome. That's just me.
I've actually rewatched Shang-Chi multiple times now. I find that it's a blast.
Yeah, like comes on, just energy.
That's escapism. That's escapism.
That's escapism. You don't sit there and just like, oh, I'm depressed. Oh, you watched it and said it.
Yeah.
And like I said, you want to see representation, just like this movie. Like I said, it's a lot of black and brown people going to see Wakanda Forever put the movie out there, which is what Disney expects to see.
Yeah.
I
love that it's pointing out the colorism and the racism in Mexico. That I love that's being called out. Like the white Mexicans are sort of all butthurt because what's his name? Huerta, what's the guy who played Namor?
He's like a darker
actor. Yeah, that he's a darker skinned Mexican guy who got a lead role. When all the telenovelas in Mexico are all full of like white passing Mexican people.
Right.
I love that that's being exposed. But that's the thing. Mexico is a complicated identity. Right. Have a complicated identity.
That's what we got to understand, that South America is just like North America. You have different nationalities, different races.
You have and you have the indigenous population that were there before the Spanish came. So I heard there was some backlash over when Namor said that Spanish was the evil language. He doesn't like saying like, oh, the Namor is from what my enemies called me. That's the evil language,
Right.
And they're saying, oh, well, you're saying Spanish is the evil language. Well, to indigenous people that were colonized by the Spaniards, and let's get serious, the Spaniards were fucking assholes. They were some of the most sadistic fucking motherfuckers ever, So to them, that was an evil language. So for them to come over and enforce this, like Spanish is a European language. So for them to force this foreign language upon this population, and then this population tries to go to America and say, hey, this is America. You speak English here. Force another fucking colonized language on these.
Right.
It gets really complicated, and I'm not going to try and speak for them because, like I said, I'm as I mentioned, AKA the Mexicant. I'm not familiar with it, but I hear about it.
So that's the thing. So like I said, it's so I guess we gave it a 4 out of 5. Like the movie, not my favorite Marvel movie of Phase 4, but it's up there, definitely up there.
Did you like it better than Ant-Man and Wasp?
Absolutely, man. But see, here's the thing. All right, because you said it like Ant-Man and Wasp like the worst Marvel movie ever. I'm like, come on, man. It's not the worst movie ever. It's It's plain toast. That's all it is. Plain toast.
Plain toast.
It's plain toast. Yeah. Not even the ass end of the toast. It's like the middle bread, like in the middle. Not the top. I kind of like the top. It's the middle. So
what about this?
Thick
Or Dark World?
This a Dark World. What are you talking about? This a Dark World? No. It's higher than Dark World. Yeah, it's higher than Dark World. Because, like I said, I rank Dark World under Love and Thunder. Some people rank Dark World higher than Love and Thunder, but I think they're just doing it just to, just for clicks. Clickbait, shit like that. Ant-Man movies are the worst. They're not the worst. They're just there. That's all. They're just
They're
there.
Just there. Yeah.
Yeah. This, like I said, there's no reason to hate because Paul Rudd is just there. He's like, I don't know what to say.
I've said this before, but I remember was it Civil War when the first time I saw Civil War in a packed theater, like when Ant-Man showed up, the whole theater clapped and cheered. But when Spider-Man showed up, crickets.
Well, that's because Ant-Man has always been better in other movies than his own movies. So yeah, that's just how it is. So I think the same thing. It just felt like a weird movie just to even put him in, and they fucking Kang in there. So like I said, I'm gonna watch it because I watch all this stuff. So it's just whatever.
Yeah, I'll see it eventually. I still haven't seen
Morbius.
I have not seen Eternals yet. I still never watched Eternals.
I'm trying to think. See, you didn't give me Eternal. Like, what do I think? Now, now there are some YouTubers out there saying, because there are some YouTubers shitting on this movie, But it's because here's the thing. So what I'm realizing that whole recast the T'Challa crowd, what they don't realize is that right wingers have co-opted that shit. They realize, it's no reason to shit on Marvel. Let's take that shit. They don't care whether or not it's recast T'Challa or not. They just like this shit to shit on it. So what they're doing, they're taking that, and you're going out again. I can see. Oh, you're there. Okay. I thought you were going for a second.
I'm all
okay. You're in and out. You're in and out. Matrix, So they're taking this shit and then using any reason to just shit on, and I completely lost my train of thought where I was going with this. But anyway,
recasting T'Challa.
No, past that. It was something else I was talking about. But
yeah, right wingers using any reason to shit on Marvel.
They use any reason to shit on Marvel, recast T'Challa. Yeah, you just said what I said. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. So I'm like,
Ben Shapiro recast T'Challa. Gina Carano. That's just.
But these are the same people that shitted on the first movie. But now they're just using. Now they're fans of the first movie, just thinking shit on this movie. It's like they're just using any excuse to just do whatever. So
them clicks.
They got to get clicks. So yeah. When I play back Biggest podcast, I realized what my point was, but I'll talk about it next part. So, and anything else we got to add? I think we got enough.
Okay, sure. So no Gears of War.
No Gears of War. We'll talk about.
I think that's fine. We went a whole show on Batman. We can do a whole show on Black Panther.
Yeah, because I wasn't planning on it, but I was like, we do need to just dig deeper into it,
Yeah, there's a lot. Like I said, the more I thought about it, I started seeing, the French and the hate. Because I watched this. I follow this one woman who's like Haitian, and she talks about Haiti history, and she was like breaking some shit that I was like, no shit, whoa, okay. Haiti's always being portrayed as this like poor country where everyone's poor and it's garbage all over the place, and it's just this, just destitute, island of poor folk. But then in Black Panther, hey, they're all scientists and shit, and they're independent and all that. Yeah. So that was cool. When that's why representation matters. You give it to the people that these movies are about. You're gonna see a different side of those people.
Right? Because was the last time we saw a Haitian in a movie? What, Predator 2?
Yeah, that wasn't doing voodoo or some shit.
Right? Shit like that. So
yeah, fucking live and let die and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
James Bond just shooting any Haitian he could see, just bring him.
Yeah, so that's cool. You get to that. That's like what we said about the first one, like Killmonger. Killmonger. Yeah, fucking Joe Quesada couldn't have wrote that fucking dialogue.
Right? He could. Like you tapping into the African diaspora. So like I said, Brian Michael Bendis is not going to write that.
Yes. No matter how much he tries to shove Naomi down our throat.
Right. Because I'm sitting here looking at Killmonger speaking, I was like, whoa, he's a little bit too real right now.
Yeah, that's why I love Killmonger. I'm like, fuck yeah, he's like, he's saying what we think, he's that anger, the black anger, the brown anger, the people of color anger. That's what he like. That's
just American, anger.
Yeah. And that's what Namor was doing here. Namor was that indigenous anger, You know, that's
But
why.
The thing I like about Namor, though, he walked it like he talked it. Because when he went full Man of Steel on Wakanda, I was loving it. I'm like, wait, I'm not supposed to be rooting for him.
When he was doing that, when he was flying around and shit, I was like, damn, here's another Marvel doing Superman better than DC.
Because it was just like Black Adam. I was like, this is like Black Adam. He just fucking up shit. Yeah.
He was flying through ships and yeah. So
Hey,
Leroy
like
would love
Killmonger,
this.
like,
He had a red cape on.
Right. So yeah, I was loving it, but yeah, it's yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. Like I said, appreciate everybody listening. Like I said, just bear with us for, like I said, we got this week down. Next 2 weeks, we're gonna be here, on YouTube. The link will be on Facebook, so you can literally click the link on Facebook. It will bring you here.
Yeah.
So you don't have to
Twitch
look
or
for
YouTube or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, we're making it for you as easy as possible. Check the storage, check whatever.
Maybe Facebook is the reason why my internet was going out.
I hope not. So yeah.
But Jake, we can see Jake is Jake.
Yeah, we can see Jake's now. You're not like Facebook user.
Facebook user, yeah.
We actually see you now. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing, man. Like I said, I tell you what, since you're on YouTube, rate what you give your rating in the comment section. Put it here. I want to know what you thought. I might even put a poll up on the community tabs. Like, since we're going to be at home in YouTube for a while. So yes, so this week is down. Next 2 weeks we'll be here. Third week we will be back on Facebook and everywhere else. So just bear with us. So yeah.
Just
until then, right time for Christmas. This would be a good Christmas present. Eli, I want to, after we get off this podcast, we're gonna have a conversation about what we're gonna do Avatar week.
Oh yeah. Okay.
4. What? Or you can put it here, Jake. Yeah. 4 out of 5. Okay.
We agree. Yes.
Okay. So we're across the board. 4 across the board. Okay. Cool. So until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time. Same bullet channel.
Am I blue? Am I blue? Ain't these tears in my eyes telling you? Am I blue? You'd be too if each plan that you made done fell through. Was a time I was her only one, but now I'm the sad and lonely one. Lordy, was I gay till today. Now she's gone and we're through. Am I blue? Was a time I was her only one, but now I'm the sad and lonely one. Lordy, was I gay till today. Now she's gone and we're through. Am I blue? Now she's gone